Hey, AfterBuzzers, we're talking Ben and Lauren happily ever after. Chad was there. We went camping and some yoga, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We thought we'd bring some of the camping vibes onto the show today. So hello, I'm your host, Ally Nasta, and you can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta, and I have Sam Davidson over here. Where can they find you?
Hey guys, you can find me, Sam Davidson, on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43, and I am in the live chat, so please let us know what you thought of the episode.
Yeah, and then we have Renee Ariel.
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
Alrighty, so we have Ben in some yoga pants starting off the episode. Totally opposite of the whole camping vibe, might I say.
Yeah, it was really funny watching him trying to do that. I couldn't do that either, though, so like I feel for him.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys, have you ever been?
I do. I had an experience.
How was it?
It was an experience. And let's just say it was, I left and I was like, all right, ladies, see you next week. I might buy that package you chose. And I left and I was like, oh my God. It was scary.
You're like, never again. When they just fell forward, I was like, are they okay?
Right? Oh gosh, it just looks scary. Like, I don't know how I would, and they're all folded in.
Yeah.
He was like, how is this piece of silk gonna hold?
Right?
Yeah.
I will say two things. One, the silk smells.
What?
Oh,
I know.
Do you think they wash it?
I mean, they do, but they say they do.
Good question.
But I went to a pretty nice one. They didn't. But also, I was like hanging upside down, and they were like release, and everyone just like flew into a bird. And I was sitting there, my head is this close to the ground, and I'm shaking. And this girl comes over to me, he's like, "Let me adjust you." And I was like, "Please don't. I really don't want to hurt you." It's scary. It's hard. So I don't even know if Ben really did it. I'm not sure.
I think when he flipped over, he did it very gracefully. Because I noticed he did it slow, so that it was a little bit more like he could catch himself in case he fell.
Yeah, because the first time he did, and it was embarrassing.
Yeah, him in those yoga pants, though, I was like, you've got some, like, that was great.
Renee, what did you say when we were watching it tonight?
About what?
His booty.
Oh, he has a great butt. He like turned to the side and was like, oh my gosh, he's got like a nice butt.
I know, she's like, did you see that? And I was like him going upside down. She was like, no, his butt.
He's got a good butt. I'm sorry, he chose to wear those pants.
Yeah, so you kind of were asking for it at that point. So then we go straight from yoga into camping, and they go off the grid, which, were you guys wondering if they actually stayed there overnight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either.
I'll be really pissed if I find out they didn't.
You're gonna find out.
But I noticed something. Obviously, I'm jumping a little ahead. Did you guys notice when he was talking to Chad, he said something about getting him a bottle of whiskey and he could go back to the hotel?
Oh, man, I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that either.
But I didn't know if, like, maybe that was, like, a whole Chad thing. Like, in case things went south, they had a hotel for him.
Right, just prepared.
Yeah, like, I wasn't sure about that. So if you guys noticed that, please help me out. Maybe I just misinterpreted something.
I will say, though, following all these people on social media, Snapchat, especially Chad, he's in hotels a lot, and people just, like... I remember when he was shooting this, he was like, I'm going to Colorado to shoot like Ben and Lauren, blah, blah, blah. And like he was in a hotel when they were doing that. And that could have easily been before and after production.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. They probably didn't camp. I mean, I just hope the twins got left out there for the night to just see what happens.
I just want to see
Well,
what goes on.
They were worried about the Wi-Fi service, and they were saying, like, it was funny. How did you guys feel about Ben saying one thing about Lauren and how she's so go with the flow and everything? Lauren's like, I hate the outdoors. I don't want to do this.
I love that. It was funny. Yeah, totally editing for sure.
Yeah.
But I like the quick beginning with like the aerial yoga being like Lauren's thing, and then Ben's thing, of course, camping, which also isn't my favorite thing either. I would not go camping, to be honest. I'm not a camper.
Would you guys glamp or camp?
Glamp.
I mean, I would do
Hotel
either.
glamp.
I wanted to glamp for my birthday this year.
What?
What is your idea of glamping?
Yeah.
I don't know, like a cabin. I mean,
so you just want to stay somewhere like more outdoorsy, but you still want like the inside
to be protected.
Comfortable experience. That's not clamping.
Yeah, clamping is that?
Not clamping. Glamping.
Glamping. We've got a mixture of camping plus glamping, but then that's what glamping is.
No, I think
Glamping.
for one night camping is fun. Just for one. For one night, it can, if you bring like the right amenities, you know, like air mattress situation. Well, there's nothing to plug it into.
Well, your car. You can get like the outlets,
Yeah,
and then
because
you
I
like.
know people do that.
And there's
so-
battery operated where they blow up them air mattresses.
Yeah.
You can have that too.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Have you guys set up a tent before?
Like by myself?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so. I think the one I used to have ones that like just like folded. I never had legit tent.
We're
One time we
embarrassing
went
ourselves,
camping.
Renee.
I know. I love camping. I've set up so many tents. It's crazy.
I did once.
Pitching the tents.
I did once when I was in 9th grade with a bunch of other like 9th graders, and we had to do it together, or else
So you
like,
had
we didn't
to.
have a place to sleep. So yeah, we did it.
You did it. Well, I
for
think
you.
the girls did a great job, and I think they gave up too soon because it looks like they were just about to get like the outskirts of the tent together, and they're like, okay, we'll go ahead and light the campfire, which then we see Lace has a lighter.
She just breathed her breath onto the fire.
And
and
Which, okay, so we have a couple of Bachelor alumni there, as they were labeled.
Yeah.
We've got Grace together, which, you guys watch Bachelor in Paradise, obviously.
Of course.
So,
Love them together.
I
Yes.
love them together. I think they literally bring out the best in each other.
Yeah, especially because, I mean, they both accept each other for who they are completely, even if one of them is being overdramatic or
Yeah.
one of them is like they're always supportive of each other,
Yeah.
which is important in a relationship.
but what is there to accept about Grant? Just
He
that
was-
he's hot
well,
and
yeah,
like
that too.
has an ex. That's probably also hot. I mean, he's always really like well behaved.
No, in Bachelor, did you watch Bachelor in
I
Paradise?
watch every single thing.
Yeah, she does. I don't even know why I asked. But I don't know. There were moments in Bachelor in Paradise where he was like kind of like overdramatic about things. So I get.
If I mean, Jesus, Lace, this was my girlfriend
She
for the
loves
next
Lace.
few weeks. I mean, I would have a panic attack.
Well,
being
now
like,
forever.
This is how I have to stick through
Yeah,
this.
they're engaged. They're forever.
This
And
is
they have
like-
tattoos, so that is forever.
I know. And then the
Great
next night, she
tattoos.
thought, she's like, what if he's dumping me? These tattoos are going to be so embarrassing. But then it's like cut to the proposal.
I know.
Yeah, which I'm
Improv decision.
wrong decision.
Sorry,
Love it.
Grace. I love you.
Yeah, no, Grace together is a magic. Hearts, love them. And then, okay, so Chris, like he obviously, what are your thoughts on him? I thought he was very quiet, and I feel like he seems like so cutesy and just.
So, how far back have you watched?
See, I haven't watched that far back, so I
I
haven't.
haven't either.
I've
so I
watched
feel
as
you.
far back as like when I was like a baby.
Okay.
So I watched Chris's season, and the thing is about Chris is that he was on Caitlin's season and was supposed to be this like really sweet. Was it? Yeah, it was Caitlin. Andy. I'm sorry, it was Andy. Yeah, Andy. And he was supposed to be very sweet and like this farmer. You didn't know like what was coming from him. And then he had his own Bachelor season, and he picked the nice girl. He really like kind of didn't have a lot of people that would fit him, I think. But then
Gotcha.
afterwards, at all these parties and events that the Bachelor Nation has, he has hooked up with so many other girls
How do you know?
Yeah.
because my mom follows all these blogs and tells me about it. So then I started following the blogs and the social media, and he does. Now he's kind of this like,
Player.
yeah, he's a huge player, more so even than when he was on The Bachelor.
Well, that's funny because as like a first perspective, I was like, oh, he seems so sweet. I was a little curious because they showed back to some scenes of like the tractors and like the girls were kind of like just like, you know, they're just on the tractors. But I was like, he seemed very genuine and nice and just kind of like hesitant and
Yeah.
not very pushy. So that's interesting that that's actually.
I like him though. I like that. I like the side of him. He likes to party and he's
Yeah.
fun. And I think
Yeah.
he had to try to really be this like cookie cutter thing for his season. And that just wasn't who he was. And the girl
Gotcha.
that he picked was this Whitney, super nice, but like wasn't exactly what he wanted. And
Gotcha.
you know, Ashley.
Oh,
Yes.
Ashley I.
Ashley,
Oh,
I.
yes.
Yeah.
So apparently, Chris hooked up with her sister, who was on last year's Bachelor in Paradise. She like brought her with her.
yeah.
And they hooked up at Jade and Tanner's wedding. Confirmed sources. So he just likes to play the field a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, like there's nothing wrong with that.
If you guys ever want any Bachelor history,
I never
then
knew this.
tap into me. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So we see some bears. We get into more of the camping. I was like, I actually would be frightened if I saw a legitimate bear, and we see Ben just chase after him. As like Lauren's perspective, would you be upset that you know your fiance is running into the woods after a bear?
I just feel like stop being a moron. Like, you're not gonna win in a fight against a bear. Like, be smarter.
I don't think it had anything to do with him being smarter. It was that the producers were like, here's a bear from the zoo. We have people that are like the bear bodyguards and it won't touch you. Run after it.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant, and it was like funny because we saw it at a distance, and then they're like, here's another part of the woods. We'll make you run into that part. So I was just kind of trying to follow along with like what's actually happening, because I noticed a lot of different production things that were a little off, but we can go about that later. Before Chad gets here, we see everybody just like, everybody's having fun, the vibe is great, everybody's talking about how amazing it is, and then poor Chad comes on. Obviously we know that Sam loves Chad.
I have said that, yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that how do you feel about his interpretation on the season? Do you think he was misinterpreted? Do you think he has another side that we don't see?
In this episode?
Just in general.
I think it's a mix. I think he's done some stupid things, but I definitely think it has a lot to do with the producers and the image that they want him to have. However, this particular episode, I felt bad for Chad. It really annoyed me that Grant kept pushing that thing about his mom. That's a really sensitive topic, like a parent that has passed away. And when someone is telling you, hey, I don't want to talk about that, perhaps not try to add fuel to the fire. So I felt for Chad in this episode.
I did too, but I'm going to be a bit of a devil's advocate because as much as I love Chad, when you push someone to a certain point, they're probably going to bring up stuff. And I get, because I was being like, why is Grant being so quiet? Lace is crying. She's probably always crying. So he's just like, has like a third hand that's just like this.
Third hand.
And it's just like rubbing her back all the time. But, you know, I think the thing with Chad, part of the reason he is the way he is probably is because of the death of his mother. And it's super sad. And, you know, I follow Chad on Snapchat. And he has this really adorable dog called Pumpkin.
Yes.
And it was the dog that his mother had. And that is why he has it now. And he's just obsessed with this dog. And he's super sweet when he's with the dog. And I know it doesn't give any excuse to his behavior, but it's still, like, nice to see him like that, I will say.
Well, you know, I think that he did kind of mention, we saw it was like he had two sides tonight. He mentioned how he definitely was like, I don't feel bad about it. That's how I am. I can be like that sometimes. And then he also was like, okay, I actually am sorry. I understand that we've seen such terrible sides of him, but I feel like when you're going through such a terrible time like that, it's only natural for your emotions to go haywire. Not that I'm excusing his behavior, because some of the things he's done have been just out of line. Yeah. But I feel like tonight's episode, as soon as Grant said something about his mom, his face kind of went from Chad's like little smirk to just sadness, and I felt for him, and I feel like I think I saw some people talking about on Twitter, he always kind of gets ganged up on. Not that it's not that he doesn't provoke it, but I feel like maybe it is time for everybody to just maybe let it go and try to move on from it.
Well, how do you expect someone to react when all of these people that are super good looking are like hating on you?
Yeah.
It must suck and it must hurt. And I also, you know, I followed Chad back on Snapchat the second I like knew what his Snapchat was on Bachelorette. I was like, oh my God, this is gold. And he Snapchatted when he went to Denver and said he was filming Ben and Lauren, and he was like, it was a really good experience, blah, blah. And then when he saw the promos for it, he was like tweeting things out, Instagramming them, Snapchatting them, saying, again, here I'm like made this bad guy. I think there's a lot of stuff that they filmed that they didn't show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that could make sense though, because there was a kind of a cut where he went from saying all these things to like kind of hesitating the acceptance of saying sorry, and then it was just like saying sorry. And I feel like everybody seemed emotional. Everybody was really just kind of taken aback by that too. But so I don't know. I feel like there's something that we still aren't seeing from him, and I kind of feel for him. Because we only see what they cut, so we can only hope that maybe there was an apology that was said. And I think that don't you agree that maybe we should just move on?
Totally.
I feel like Lace and Grant are happy. You know, obviously it's not like they were treated very well like throughout this like aftermath of Chad, but why do you really care anymore if it's
Yeah, why? I was like, why is she brought to tears over this again?
Oh my god, I know.
There has to have been something that he said that wasn't
Yeah.
shown, and
Yeah, so I guess it's just kind of one of those things that's really confusing with like we don't know what actually happened.
Yeah.
But the production thing that I wanted to talk about. Did you guys notice how so we got to the campgrounds, right? They were setting up, everybody was in their like flannels, and the guys were in their like, what is it, like a Hensley? It's like called something when it's like buttoned. I don't know. So anyways, did you guys notice how when we went to they went water rafting, and then we went back to the campgrounds, and it was this, they were wearing the same things, but it was nighttime and all their hair was done. So this must have been 2 different days.
It's getting done all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have the touch-ups, makeup, hair on set.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, but do you think that it was like 2 separate days that they did these things? Or, because it made it seem like, everything's great because Chad's not here. And then they went back to the campgrounds and, Chad shows up.
Yeah, I do. I think definitely, yeah.
So 2 separate days.
2 days? Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
Probably 2 days.
And it just annoys me because it's not that hard to make it not seem this obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
of
they pick
reality
up the
shows
production
do
game
it.
for sure.
Well, it's just, I think they're trying to, I don't know, this is all a farce and it's a joke. Like, let's make fun of it all. Let's be on that level of, like, making fun of the entire Bachelor, Bachelorette reality TV thing. But they're not trying to do that. They're trying to, like, make it real with these, like, funny moments. But none of these moments are real. And it's super obvious.
Yeah. I feel like some of it is, and that's where, like, I'm going back and forth. It's like, the moment with, like, when they were in yoga, I could see Ben and Lauren, like, totally like, they were having so much fun. And Lauren's, like, having a blast, laughing with him, joking with him, and that was real, and it was just genuine and raw. And I was like, I love that. I love seeing their chemistry. Because I feel like some of it, like you were saying, is, like, kind of, there's certain forced things that we don't get to see, like, what we want to see, which is their love for each other.
Totally. What I want to see more so is this is supposed to be Ben and Lauren's happily ever after and really life after The Bachelor. I want to meet Lauren's friends, not the twins who fly in to see them. I love these guest appearances, and I think the twins are hilarious, but I really want to see like what Ben does and who he sees outside of Lauren, what Lauren does and who she sees outside of Ben. I don't want it to just be her making a home and like buying furniture. I want to see like their actual lives, and just like watching like their lives on their own, you'll get different like drama and conflict through that naturally, as opposed to like setting up more extreme situations that are then like kind of weirdly cut, and you're kind of confused how things escalated the way they did and why Lisa's all of a sudden crying. And so I really hope that we move that direction as the season progresses, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's because, like we've said before, Renee and I were hosts on Unreal, which, Ally, you have to watch.
I know, I need
it.
to. I've heard so many great things
Because
about it.
I have this entirely new mindset when watching things like this. Because after the first season of Unreal, they even said, like, oh, we'll have the spinoff with the winners. And I feel like it would have been just like this. And there's definitely things happening.
Gotcha. Okay, and also, you know, just talking about the whole Chad situation, I felt like Ben was playing like the Chris Harrison. He was like the moderator. I love
Put down the cameras. Put down the cameras.
I love how he's so positive. Like, Ben is really, and that's his genuine self. I really do believe him and Lauren wanted to try to solve this situation. Do you guys think that they really truly wanted to solve this?
I think they did, but I think the producers that got Chad, I think they wanted Chad to go on the show because he was like the perfect villain, like the craziest villain they probably had. So they're like, you gotta get him on your show if they're gonna get all these people from The Bachelor. However, I think once he was there, I don't think that Ben and Lauren were trying to tarnish his reputation anymore. I think they genuinely wanted to help him. Yeah. And then they were trying to cut it in a way that I guess still kind of made him look bad, I think.
It wasn't in Ben and Lauren's hands regardless.
Yeah.
If it was like, we planned this, it's a surprise. I just thought it was funny. I felt like Ben was trying to, because he admitted last week how much he loved Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
And then Lauren was trying to be this therapist that is not, you know, a therapist, but just for Bachelor Nation. It's like, what if she had her own web series? It's like, hey guys, so I'm married now to Ben, and so it worked, so I am able to give you all advice and be your therapist.
Yeah, it did kind of feel like that.
A little bit.
Yeah. I was just trying to like, understand maybe like what, like it was just kind of awkward too, because regardless of what it was like prompted for them to talk about this or whether it wasn't, no one else is really talking. Like the twins are just sitting there, and then, you know, Lace is crying, so it was just kind of uncomfortable. But also too, when they all got up, the twins were like, we all know you're a good person, Chad. Like they said that. Did you like so there's something missing, and I feel like I've been wanting to know what that is. I feel like we need to hear from Chad himself.
Watch his Snapchat. Seriously, it's great, guys.
I wonder if he. So wait, you read these Snapchats and tweets from him about this episode, just the promos of it. So not today, after the episode.
I
wonder
haven't
what he
seen
said
them today after the episode, but the promos, like, because he was excited about being on the episode when they filmed
So
it.
sad.
I know, and he thought they was going to show a whole new side of him, and that obviously is not what happened.
So you think that he walked away with looking negative still?
Yeah.
I don't think he looked terrible, but I don't think they put him in a different light. Like, I don't think that it hurt, but I don't think it helped either.
He walked away, which is, you know, the best thing that you can do in those kind of situations, especially someone that has the temperament of Chad.
Yeah.
You know, he just need to get home to Pumpkin. Whatever. It's fine.
Or to the hotel. No, we're
to the
confused
hotel.
because he kind of walked off into nowhere, and I'm like, is he going to any of those tents?
He said he was like, I'm going to go to my tent. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to go to your tent. Okay, you're just waiting for all those little mini whiskeys in the tent, or in the tent. And, you know, he loves food. He likes to order room service.
Yeah. He needs the protein.
Literally,
All
you
the
guys,
protein.
when I go on Snapchat, Chad is I have all these people, and I'm like, oh, this is overwhelming. Chad's first. Chad is always first.
It's good to know.
He loves, you know, that song by Fifth Harmony. Work, 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 work.
That's not by Fifth Harmony.
Wait,
that's
who's that?
Rihanna?
Fifth Harmony has Work
No,
from
no,
Home.
no.
Oh, yeah.
It's Work from Home.
Do.
Yeah, no, that's the one that Chad.
Nothing.
That's the one that Chad dances to. It is Fifth Harmony. Trust me, I
Really?
know this. Yes, I swear to you. Look it up on the internet. He listens to it all the time and does
Boop, boop, boop.
gyrating with his another parts.
Well, this is amazing. I'm definitely gonna go have to watch his Snapchat. You know, I just think I hope that other people walked away feeling a little bit bad for Chad, because I know I did, and I feel like I kind of did see him in a bad light. But me personally, I feel like it brought Chad in a brighter light in my head, because I'm like, you know, he does always get ganged up on, whether it be like needed or not. You know, I feel like, for some reason, just like let him go out of your minds. They all put so much pressure on him, and that's always about Chad, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So I guess
We'll see what happens with him. I really do wish him the best. I hope he, because it's like, oh my gosh, it was so sad when they showed that clip from him leaving Bachelor in Paradise. And it's like, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
Can't be the Bachelor. That kind of killed me a little bit. So I really do hope that there's better things in store for him next.
Yeah. And you know, I think that's something about this show is I feel like sometimes we end up talking about the other stars from the Bachelor series more so than like Ben and Lauren, because sometimes that's how they bring it in. Like the first episode was about JoJo and about how like that drama, and now it's like about Chad. So I really, like you said, I want to see them get really into more depth of the relationship.
I'm gonna be honest though, I think the reason they did that was because Ben and Lauren are normal. Kind of. They don't have a lot to talk about, to fight about.
Yeah.
And I think if they just did them the entire time,
It would be too boring.
But I think that's what we were like saying. I wish they would bring in like the friends, more of the family, because we always see them on Instagram with their siblings and everything. And we've seen Molly once, Lauren's sister.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Ben doesn't have siblings, so he's an only child, so that just kind of nays that one out.
But they have friends. They have to have friends that like live nearby.
That's true.
But maybe they don't want to do the reality show.
He does.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Oh, maybe she doesn't.
That's true. She did just move out there.
Yeah, I mean, her friends are like the PA that works on Ben and Lauren. I mean, no, I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure she does have friends. But what I was saying when we were watching it earlier was that I think, let's say someone that doesn't live in the United States was watching this.
Yeah.
They would be like, oh, never been to the United States also. The states are so close together because all of these people from all over the country are just like always there with each other. And it just makes it so easy. And it's like, no. These are flights away from each other. It costs a lot of money to make it. But every season, too, they do something like that. It's like, hey, what are you doing here? No, But it literally is, they make it as though flying to another
It's like
state is
easy.
Nothing. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
driving an hour.
Just visiting 6 hours flight just to give you advice because I'm a good friend.
Yeah, exactly. But a flight that I probably didn't pay for.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever.
I'll do it.
Well, I'll be there for the weekend, don't worry. And I thought that was kind of funny how Grant and Lace were like, oh, we didn't know Chad was going to be here. And I'm like,
Yeah. Well, did they, though?
Do you think their reaction was genuine?
I don't know. I can never tell with these situations because it's always like, I'm sure production does want to surprise them to some extent because it will bring more of a
that's
genuine
true.
reaction. They can freak out and then it's more drama. But I mean, the reaction wasn't crazy, so I don't know if they knew. I'm hoping they really genuinely didn't because that would have been more interesting, but...
I have this vision in my head of like Lace or Grant after the cameras were done, and one of them, probably Lace, being like throwing the mic off of her. You didn't tell us. You didn't effing tell us that this was happening and blah blah. That would be
love that.
so fascinating.
But I
wish
would have
we
loved
could have
it
seen that.
on camera for sure.
I think that maybe Lace didn't know because she seemed really thrown off guard. And they had a really bad, like when he left Bachelor in Paradise, it wasn't pretty.
Nope.
No.
And the night before, I mean, him and Lace, that was the night before, him and Lace's beginning and end of the relationship. The rise and fall of Chad and Lace.
Yes.
Chase.
Yes. But on to happy endings and couples. We go back to Ben and Lauren, and they have all those missed calls from the producer talking about their wedding, and it's all very overwhelming.
It's the wedding planner, not a producer.
Oh, sorry, yeah. But then when she called in the beginning, didn't she say that they were like, oh, it's the producer?
No, wedding planner.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
wedding planner,
it
I don't remember her
probably
name.
was the producer.
Probably
That's the thing.
producer.
There's no wedding planner that would be.
That all up on your girl like that because no one would keep her. Like, you're stressing me out.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make this more relaxing.
Yeah, well, I thought the one call, it was like, hello, are you here? And it was like, well, no, it's a message.
Yeah.
It's a voicemail. But, I mean, I was wondering if maybe they've even... It's funny to think that I thought, oh, maybe they would have had all these ideas thought about already, but that's true because I think they mentioned how this is now that they're not just engaged anymore; they're talking about a marriage.
Yeah.
But
that is what they're talking about, and we'll get into this in predictions. But for scenes from next week, she's like, "You proposed to me on national television," and I thought that the scenes from last week showed him saying, "This week I'm 100% in," and I didn't see that in this episode. Am I crazy? Because
No.
What do you mean?
I thought I saw scenes from last week that he's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm in.
Yeah.
For the wedding.
Yeah.
no, that was the end of last episode. Remember?
Oh,
He was like,
I thought that was like what was gonna happen this episode.
oh no, they were just
end
like
of last
eating the
episode.
tea or they were at brunch, and he was like, nope, I'm in. We can do it. And she was
Yeah.
like, okay. So they just basically agreed.
At the very end.
Yeah.
And then next episode, I guess they're going to get into a weird pickle about that because you see him go, you want kids, you want a marriage, you want this, you want that. That was, I'm wondering what's going to lead to that because that was a weird argument.
Yeah, but I will say, as overall, they have got. I feel like being on camera, you're seeing it become more comfortable. It's unraveling in a really cute way, and they've had some really cute moments, like the fishing moment today. That was really cute. I thought that was very genuine.
That was
I
really cute.
didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Oh,
That was like a commercial. It literally was a commercial for
I feel like I thought it was really cute.
like
and now-
tissues or something. I'm sorry. What wasn't it? It was one of their weird commercials that they do.
no, that was the troll.
No, there was another one at the end. It was sponsored by something. It was like bleachable moments, but you know how they do that? Bleachable moments. It's like weird moments.
Oh, I thought it was just an extra moment that they were showing it.
No, it was sponsored by something. I will rewatch this and figure it out.
Please
because
tell me.
I think they did
100% was.
kissable moments.
Yeah, kissable.
Oh,
So
kissable is
I just
what?
feel like they're. I don't know.
I thought that was just a Ben and Lauren's happily ever after thing, kissable moment of the episode.
See, I really I don't need the kiss. I like that, but I also want a kissable moment and then for something funny to happen, which is what the pattern they were going on. But
I loved that. Last episode was my favorite because I really liked that they showed that Lauren loves to trick Ben. I
Yeah.
thought that was hysterical.
Yeah.
And I wanted to keep that trend going because that to me was the most entertaining element of this show thus far. I loved in the first episode the Oreo prank. I thought it was
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
So great. And then Ben's reactions, priceless. And in the second episode, the prank with the water, the prank with the
Yeah.
singing the national anthem, I thought that was so funny, and I want to see more of that as well.
Yeah, I think we will, but maybe we can get into some predictions
Yes.
for next episode. Ooh.
There we go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Renee, would you like to go first?
Sure. All right, so I think we're going to see plenty more pranks, and I hope we see more of JoJo and Jordan, because I really liked them in the last episode. I thought they were great. I also want to see more of the twins.
I think we definitely won't see any more of JoJo and Jordan. Pretty sure that's not going to happen. Because JoJo...
Shut down!
No, but JoJo has literally said that she's not watching it. Like, I don't know if that's to distract us, but she is not watching it. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
What do you mean she's not watching it?
She's not watching the show. She doesn't really care. Yeah, I know. Awesome.
Is your mind blown?
Yeah.
She said that?
Yes. She's like, I don't know even what's happening. Like, some TMZ guy came up to her or something like that. I'll send it to you. I think definitely more of the twins. The twins, to me, are gold.
Oh, totally.
I love them. They're hilarious.
They're so funny.
And I mean, there can't be that many spin-offs, but there could be some. Like, to me, the twins reminded me of The Simple Life.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that
Loved
show.
that show.
Way nicer than Paris and Nicole. I mean, at least Paris. Nicole is, I like Nicole, but they're super funny. I think we'll see more of that, more of the wedding stuff, but I need more of the comedy. What makes Ben and Lauren unique out of all of the couples that have gotten together and stayed together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. You know, I really enjoyed their yoga scene today. I thought it was so genuine, natural, cutesy, funny. You really could see, like, they're doing this for each other, and it was awesome to see that connection. So I hope that we see more of that, as well as I'm thinking that obviously there's going to be drama, considering we don't know if he's going to show up to this party or not, and she's really wanting him to be there. So we're going to see some conflict, like maybe a little bit more serious than we would want to see this soon into the season, but obviously with a resolution as well. But yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, Katie Samuel in the live chat said, I need Jordan and JoJo to have their own show.
I agree.
This could be paving the way, so we'll see.
Caitlin and
Katie.
Sean and JoJo and Jordan, I'll watch.
Yes, me
totally.
too.
Well, maybe we'll see that in the coming seasons after this, once this one's come to a close. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Make sure to chat, subscribe, comment, tweet us, anything. Just make sure that you tune in next week. We'll see you then. Bye, guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.